Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. It's 9:30 on the 16th of February, and definitely a lot of we definitely have clouds increasing now after a mostly sunny and very windy day today. Um, you definitely have these high clouds approaching, and this is the Clipper system that we're going to be dealing with here. You can clearly see it on the satellite. If we pan out and go to the CONUS view, there's your Clipper right there, and again, here's that atmospheric river from the Pacific. You can clearly see it here. There's that atmospheric river right there going over Florida this time. So Florida is going to be dealing with a lot of the rain from that. But for us, we're dealing with this Clipper system right here that will be moving on through. The kind of day we had a very windy day today, but there was sunshine, and it did take a few pictures here at Souther's Pond. Did not go to the Pines. I could have. I thought there was going to be more of a cloud buildup, but it was also very windy out there too. So it was the other thing. The winds have now calmed down. You can see winter weather advisory has now been issued for Long Island, and they even have winter storm warnings for southwestern New Jersey into Pennsylvania, where they're expecting more snow. This is just a clipper, but it will give us some accumulating snow. Right now, islip is 34, 28 at West Hampton. So not a whole lot of radiational cooling happening tonight. Let's go look at what the day was like at Islip, and you'll see some of the wind gusts that we had earlier on, some of the conditions we had. We had some really strong winds in the morning, especially gusts to 40. It's probably some gusts over 40. Gust to 44 right there, 44 around 7:50 a.m. So very, very windy. That's why we needed that wind advisory in effect. So wasn't really, you just don't want to be outside when the winds are this strong, although the sun was shining and we had just a few passing clouds. Very, very windy. Peak gust of 45 miles an hour at Islip, actually. Let's see what West Hampton had peak wind gust to 44 miles an hour, so it's pretty substantial. What about JFK? Peak wind gust of 43, so a lot of peak wind gusts in the 40s across Long Island. Looking at our highs for the day, highs got up to around 40 degrees. We had mid-40s in New Jersey, warmer there. Did melt some of that snow, but now we're going to be getting more. But luckily, this is going to be more of a powdery variety and not that slop that we had. Like I said, it won't even be that much. Lows got to 26 at West Hampton, mostly 32. Lows still above normal. It's warmer than it's supposed to be, probably. So we'll go look at our weather statistics now. For the day at Islip, and we got up to 39. Normal highs 41, so 2 degrees below normal on the high. However, the low of 34 was 8 degrees above normal, so that puts us 4 degrees above normal for the day at Islip. Yet another above normal day. It's pretty much a lock that February is going to be above normal. Central Park also running above normal by 4 degrees. So let's go to the briefing now on the storm that the Weather Service is talking about. This is a Clipper. However, the Weather Service, once again, is going on a little bit on the higher side with 2 to 3 likely, with a reasonable worst case of 4 to 5 inches. I don't think anyone in my area is going to see 5 inches. Maybe southwestern New Jersey. Snowfall rates possibly a half inch to an inch an hour in a 1 to 3 hour period between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. It's going to be an overnight quick-hitting storm. The temperatures will be falling below freezing into the upper 20s during the snow. Lower Hudson Valley, not really, only going to see 1 to 2 inches. So we got the winter weather advisory in effect. This isn't really this is their weather map, which again I think is a little toward the high side, in my opinion. Once again, they're going a little too high. They think the storm is going to come further north. We're talking about a Clipper, an Alberta Clipper. They don't usually generate a lot of heavy snow. They usually give you just a light snowfall, usually a couple inches at most. But we do have the winter weather advisory. That is needed because we will have an accumulating snow. Let's look at the Weather Prediction Center here, and you'll see here's your Clipper that's going to be moving in. So let's go to the models here. And first of all, let's look at the day the satellite picture from today. You can see there were some clouds that did develop. You could see over the parts of Suffolk County, some pop-up clouds. And New Jersey was dealing with some of the higher level clouds kind of moving over New Jersey. But there was a good amount of sunshine. There's just a ton of wind out there. A lot of wind. It didn't really get better until later in the day with the wind. So let's show you the models here, and you'll see here that the GFS, we'll go to the GFS, and we'll give you the Eastern U.S. view here. This is just a simple clipper that's going to be coming down. You can see the heavier snow I still believe is going to stay to the south, and I think that southwest Jersey area could be the south, the Philadelphia suburbs to the south could be getting the higher amounts of the snow. But it's just a very weak thing, and it does seem to have the precipitation kind of lingering back in the afternoon. I don't know why the GFS is doing that. That might be a little overdone. And then that pulls out, and then we get, for Sunday, we have another breezy day. It won't be quite as crazy as today. And then here we are for Monday, and you'll see there's a low that's going to stay, again, off the southeast coast as we get into Monday, your President's Day. So let's go to the HRRR. We'll look at our short-range models here, and we'll look at what the latest HRRR has, because the HRRR earlier had a lot more, and then it kind of dialed it back a little bit. So you're going to have light snow start like after midnight. It's going to be mainly light, but you could have some moderate snow, perhaps, again, further to the south. And then it moves out as during the day on Saturday. And then in the afternoon, we've got instability. So we might have a snow shower in the afternoon, perhaps. We got some instability coming through. And then for Sunday, you'll see instability upstate. This is a cold front that probably won't make it through our area, but it will make it through upstate. But let's look at the snowfall accumulation map that the HRRR has put out, and you'll see here that it's suggesting mainly that 2 to 3 inch amounts. It's painting some 4s and maybe even some 5s. I don't know if I'm buying this out over the ocean like this, but I think it may be a little bit underdone in central Jersey, perhaps. But that's what it has. As far as total liquid equivalent, it won't be that much. So if you look at the liquid equivalent, we're really only going to see about 1/4 of an inch of liquid equivalent, mainly. So around 1/4 of an inch liquid equivalent, which isn't that much, according to the HRRR. All right. We'll go ahead and look at the dew points and wind flow here as well. So obviously it is solidly below freezing. Dew points are below freezing, so we're not having concerns there. But you'll see we got an east wind, too, which is the other issue that we have with this storm. So you have an east wind that almost becomes southeast. That's not really a great snow wind to have. The colder air comes in behind the storm as it leaves. So then we see the dew points drop. The northwest winds take over. Into Sunday, you see the winds become northwest, and then almost a little bit west-southwest almost, which is the problem. That's why we're not getting this really cold air that we were supposed to get all the way up here. Because of the west-southwest wind, it's going to be pushing it more over Maine instead. So it's just a very glancing blow of the cold air. So looking at our temperatures, again, below freezing, that won't be a problem. Temperatures will be below freezing tonight, upper 20s when the snow is falling. And tomorrow, probably going to make it to the mid-30s. It's going to be pretty chilly out. And then tomorrow night, with the snow and the clearing skies, we could have, at least it'll feel cold. It looks like it's showing temperatures getting down to possibly low 20s across Long Island and warmer over New Jersey. This is the HRRR here. And then for Sunday, we see the temperatures recover into the mid-30s for Long Island and maybe closer to 40 in New Jersey. So it's not all that cold behind the storm system. So we're going to go look at the NAM next, and we'll go ahead and we're actually going to go right to the FGen. This is kind of an important thing to look at here, and you look at where the FGen is. So you can see it's not so much over us. It's to the south, and that's why I think the higher amounts are going to be over southern New Jersey, all right? And so that's why I think that's what we're going to see here at this point in time. Let's look at the radar simulation on the NAM. So you can see that light snow, but you see that heavier snow that kind of gets over Jersey. It won't be there very long, but it could be there enough to put down some a little more accumulation there. And you see the snow kind of tapers off by late morning. It's out of here, but we could still have a snow shower or two perhaps behind this storm system. Now let's see what the NAM is putting out. NAM is putting out, and again, it's got that line. Now, it all depends on where this is going to set up, where you could get closer to 5 inches. Has it more of a central Jersey. And then outside of that, you have 2 inches. Like I said, it's not going to be a big snowfall. Looking at the GFS, GFS is a little more aggressive with this, and it actually has a belt of 4 or 5 inches through central New Jersey. But again, this is just a clipper. I can't really be too aggressive with a clipper. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at our dew points and wind flows here, and you'll see here that, again, we got that west-south. You see the problem. We're not really going to get into that cold air. Here comes that second cold front that's going to go through upstate New York. We're never going to see it, so we don't really get that much colder on Wednesday. These are the dew points, but they're not that low, which indicates that this is not really that cold of an air mass. It's a very heavily modified polar air mass. Not an Arctic air mass, and I don't know. We'll talk more on Sunday night about when we could see an Arctic air mass, because it seems like it's very hard to get Arctic air around here lately. So, again, here's your temperatures on the GFS. Again, so it's going to be cold tomorrow, and probably GFS not going quite as cold, probably 20s for Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then for Sunday, colder over Long Island. It has mid-30s, and then as you get into Jersey, probably closer to 40. And then as we get to President's Day, we see the temperatures rebound again, probably the low 40s again. So even though we will have the snow cover, which will help keep us a little cool. I guess air mass is not that cold, but the snow cover will help reflect some of the sunlight and keep us a little bit cooler. So I know you want to see the map I put up, right? Well, here's the map I have, and this is the map I have. And honestly, I don't see more than a coating to 2 inches. Mainly, probably 1 to 2 inches on Long Island. The coating is probably going to be more north of the city. And then as we go further south, you're in that 1 to 3 area. And this pink band here, which is going to be 2 to 4, this pink band could very well cover. I could really extend this a little bit, depending on how things work out. This could really be extended over Ocean County, perhaps. But again, if this is further north, then it goes over more central Jersey. So, but there's going to be a band where it's going to be a little bit heavier. It's really hard to say where that band is going to be. But you're talking, it's not a huge difference. Somebody will get 2 inches, somebody will get 4 inches. It's and then. But I think for Long Island, I really be surprised if we get more than 2 inches on Long Island. So those are my thoughts on this storm that we have. Now let's go to the skies. Like I said, it's not a big deal. All right. It's not a big deal. It should not be a big deal. So looking at the skies here, the GFS, again, plenty of clouds for tomorrow. Sunday gets a little tricky with the cloud cover. May still be dealing with cloud cover on Sunday. It's Monday, and it still wants to have this is overdone here. It has clouds still sitting over us on Monday, and then it doesn't really clear us out until maybe Tuesday. But this is the GFS, and very hard to say. It's a very low resolution model, but we can actually do a sounding on it. And you can see it's showing a lot of lower clouds on Sunday. And again, it kind of showed that issue today a little bit. And Jersey, it shows higher clouds. And then for Monday, it's showing higher clouds. So this is the GFS. We have the FV3, which is the higher resolution version of the GFS. I don't even want to use that. Let's go to the RGM for skies here. So again, this is the 18Z run. Obviously, plenty of clouds tomorrow. Though you might see a peak of sun, perhaps in the afternoon, combined with some instability. Could be interesting looking. Maybe we'll see some Virga out of some snow showers tomorrow afternoon. Maybe. We've hardly seen Virga at all this year because we've hardly had any Arctic air. Going into Sunday, you see the cirrus kind of brushing Jersey. RGM's pretty optimistic with sunshine for Long Island. Keeps those clouds to the north. Kind of looks similar to today, actually. And then for Monday, it has a mostly sunny day for more of the area. That's the RGM. We have the NAM3 as well for skies, so we can look at that as well. And tomorrow night we'll see. We'll have some clearing skies, and then we have to watch for Sunday what's going to happen with that cirrus. But I think it does move to the south. But Sunday we could be dealing with some clouds. It all depends on, we don't really have agreement on the models again. Just like today, it turned out to be actually a lot sunnier than I thought. Thought we would have a lot of clouds, but let's go to the HRRR and look at some soundings on this if we can for Sunday. 15Z, let's see what we got here. We can load these up. Yeah, they're kind of close to each other, but again, Sunday could turn out to be mostly sunny. And as far as the wind goes, it won't be as crazy. You definitely see there'll be some more cirrus over Jersey because they're on that storm over the southeast that might spread it over there. But as far as the winds go, I don't think we'll need a wind advisory. The isobars aren't as tight as you see, so I don't think we'll be breezy, but it won't be the crazy kind of wind we had today. Though the night has calmed down a lot. I'll take a look at our Clipper here on the radar before I end this video. And you'll see, not a very big thing, but you see there's some snows in Pennsylvania. So this is all going to push down south. And honestly, it's got that look like it's going to be hitting, I think, like I said, I think New Jersey, the southern part of New Jersey, we'll see those higher amounts, 2 to 4 inches. Whereas for us, I think it's going to be more like the 1 to 2 inch amounts and coating to the north. So that's what I think is going to happen. But this is our storm right here. And, of course, somebody in the mountains is probably going to get. That's why they got the winter storm warnings in some areas here in these higher elevations here, where you could see even more, 6 inches or more. So that would necessitate a winter storm warning for those areas. But that's pretty much what it looks like. So it's not a big deal, but it'll be a little slippery tomorrow morning. But it won't be a whole lot of snow to deal with. And the good news is it will be more powdery. It won't be that slop. So it won't be as disgusting as it was with the last storm and wet. So it'll be more of a typical snowfall. So thank you for watching. Have a good night.